Yeah.
Happy New Year, y'all! Come on in the room! Come on in the room, y'all! Happy New Year!
Lord.
Oh wait, my hat's not on. Hold on. Wait.
All right.
Hey, you see? Oh, because you can't tell it. Hey, y'all! Welcome to our podcast. Look, we have mics. It's official.
This one's the one that works.
I know. This
So
was
you
the
got to lean in.
This is the demonstration one. Hey, y'all! All right.
You got to say the thing, Lynette.
We are Mr. and Mrs. JLW, a husband and wife team that just love love. So if this is your first time watching, please tell us where you're watching from.
And Happy New Year, babe.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year, babe. And we can see you guys comment. So once you comment, we can actually comment right back. Okay, so we're doing our first episode. I'm gonna take my hat off so I don't mess up my hair.
Yeah.
You want to take yours off so you don't mess up your hair? All right. Sorry.
I want to completely cuss you.
But you can't because we're on live.
I want to cuss you out.
Don't cuss me.
In his name of his holy name.
Y'all like our banner? Look. Happy New Year. You gotta. Happy New Year.
Now, how you gonna tell me to wear these stupid hats?
First of all, the hats are not stupid. I just don't want it to indent my hair. Hold on. See? Sorry. Look, it already messed it up on one side.
I'm keeping mine on.
You can keep yours on, babe. You look great.
My fedora.
That don't fit, but it's cool. But it's cool, babe. You look great. All right. So let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Let me give you the notes, because we are very excited. And make sure that if you guys comment and it's your first time watching, literally, please tell us where you're watching from. So we know,
right.
So we know who representing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So welcome. Glad you're here.
We're so glad you're here.
So we're in a new year, babe.
Yeah.
So we're starting the year off a bit different.
Mm-hmm.
Let's tell them what we're doing.
So
I'll let you tell them.
So we are starting our podcast series. This has been, you're not gonna blow that. We are 7 years in the making, and we finally thought it was time to
start a podcast.
So we're like, and we kind of put it off, to be honest. Like, we kind of put it off, like things that we don't have, things that we want to do, people that we need to make it happen. And we're like, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's just do it.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. It's a lot of work.
But we're starting the year off different.
Absolutely. If you want something different, you got to do something different.
This.
Oh, well, you tell them.
You tell them. I'll let you tell them.
All right. So we're talking about doing something different, and we're fasting.
Yeah.
Like fasting, not detoxing. Like not
no food.
No food.
3 days.
Yeah. So the first question that pops in your mind is why?
Yeah.
Why are we doing that? Well, because why don't you tell them that part?
Well, we wanted to really start the year off right, to be more spiritual, more disciplined, resetting,
Mm-hmm. More mindful.
And a lot of times in life, when you want better, you got to do better.
Mm-hmm.
That isn't always said from a place of malfunctioning. A lot of times when people say that, it's almost like your life is tore up, but no. So we want more out of life.
Yeah.
As individuals, as a couple, as parents,
Absolutely.
So we're doing a 3-day fast. We got 2,000 people doing it with us.
2,000 plus. Yep.
2,000 plus people doing it with us.
Very exciting.
Yeah. The cool thing about it is people have been preparing for this.
Yes.
Which is cool. So
we are well prepared. So thank you.
Yeah. So we're doing that. And it hadn't been too bad.
No, today.
Like, how do you feel? Like, are you hungry? Like, you want to eat?
No.
I don't have a desire to eat either.
No, today is day 1. So,
Yeah.
maybe day 2 will be something different, but it's exciting to challenge yourself.
It is.
In different ways.
It really is. That's a good point.
And to really put your foot where your mouth is, right? Like, it's like, okay, well, I'm so disciplined in this. I'm so great at that. Well, try something that you've never tried before to see if you're, struggle a little bit. I think our society has become so conditioned to like not struggle and to be comfortable that we kind of forget the blessing in being uncomfortable.
Yeah. So we're doing, and I agree with that. You have to be uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah.
To become comfortable.
Comfortable. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
All right.
Excited about that.
Excited about that. And then let me pull up my notes.
Let's talk. We're going to give you all some backstory. We're going to give you all the skinny.
Yeah. The juicy.
Let's tell them about how we got here.
Okay.
Like what made us start? You remember when we started this?
I do. I remember we started, I think like top of November of
2016.
2016. And we started on Facebook and we did Facebook Lives and we just literally sat down at our kitchen table and just started talking.
Had no plan. It was like, let's just do it.
Yeah. We were like, because we were honestly looking as a new couple, well, not new couple, but like newly married couple. We were looking for positive Christian.
Salute to Creole.
What'd she say? Oh, I'm so happy I can connect with you both. You're my favorite couple. Yeah, come on in the room. Hey. We were looking for quality Christian Black couples.
And couldn't find it.
And could not find it.
Not to say they don't exist.
Right. But they just weren't in the space at that time. Yeah. Now you have a lot more. But I think that we represented something different. And we were like, well, if we don't see the change that we're looking for, let's be the change. So let's just start. Yeah.
And we in our earlier stuff, we're just doing stuff.
Yeah, we cracked ourselves up. I mean, we'd have like when people would come on, we'd be like, oh my gosh, we have 2 people.
Literally, we started, it would be like 2 people, just like it is today. It'd be like but you know what? I think, there are a lot of content creators that are out there. There are a lot of people who have tons more followers than us. I mean, but we went from 0.
Yeah, we went from 0
to,
and now we're here.
Yeah.
And you know what I love about us is like, you'll have content creators that have all these like special effects and all these like beautiful thumbnails and, professional photos. And I think one of the things that I love about us is that we are who we are. We do what we can do. We stay in our lane and we execute to the best of our ability.
Yeah.
And we don't try to be nobody else. Yeah. We support people, but we ain't trying to be them. So I love us personally.
Me too, babe. Yeah. It's been fun. We've had a great time.
Yeah. More times to come. All right. So that's when we started. So 7 years, like literally a week after we got married, we started it. And
no expectations.
Yeah.
And a lot of you guys may be content creators. You're like, man, I want to start something. Just do it.
Yeah, just do it.
Because a lot of times when you're doing stuff like this, you really don't know what your voice is. You don't know what your niche is. We've been on Instagram long enough and Facebook long enough to where we kind of know what people, not what people want, but what people are expecting from us. Right. We kind of know our place.
Right.
In the grand scheme of things. Now you sometimes you hit with things, sometimes you lose with things. There are a lot of content creators out there that are trying to produce content for its virility.
Right.
We never do that.
Yeah.
We've never sat down and tried to come up with something and we're like, oh, this is going to be viral. We just do what we feel.
Yeah.
We've had, viral videos that have come out, but we don't really do that. We just do what we do what we like.
Yeah. We're authentic to who we are. And and I'll tell them a secret that we do.
Yeah.
If I want to film and he doesn't, then we don't do it.
Yeah.
If he does and I don't, we don't do it. As long as we both agree, like, hey, let's record this or let's talk about this. As long as if we both don't say yes, then we don't do it.
Yeah.
So
that's what we do.
That's what we do.
So let's keep the conversation going.
So we did when we started, why we started,
what did we expect?
We didn't expect anything.
What are we looking to do? So we have a kind of a hodgepodge of things we want to do.
Yeah.
One, we want to stay in the vein of relationships.
Yes.
Dating, marriage. a lot of people need not just necessarily advice, but people need good vibrations
Yes.
around the subject matter
Yes.
of marriage and dating.
Yes.
We're living in a world to where this world is so debauched that it makes you think that you don't want to be in a relationship with anyone. And there are tons of people who long for that. But we aren't in a society that has trained us or incubated us to have that type of mentality.
Yeah. And I think also, I love that. And I also think that our society makes you think that the opposite sex is against you, or that you have to do something to attract them specifically. You have to look a certain way. You have to, and none of that is the case. It's like you're focused on the wrong stuff. So in our conversations, we're going to try to refocus everybody back to the principles that we believe got us in this place. So that's how I think.
Yeah. We're going to get into topics.
Yes. So you're like, okay, y'all, great. Yay. You started a YouTube channel. Why do we watch this versus watching anything else? Number one, because we us, and y'all ain't gonna find us nowhere else.
Salute to Katina.
What's Katina say? Oh, hey, Southern California. Oh, so it's early where you are. So thanks for tuning in. So we have a couple of new things that we don't talk about on either platform. So we don't talk about this on Facebook necessarily or Instagram, but in long form. So to really sit down, right? Like put us on speakerphone, put us on, like when you're cooking, when you're driving, working out. Yeah. Like, well, I want to hear what they got to talk about. So, you know,
when you're on, a lot of times when you're on Instagram, you feel rushed because TikTok has taken over the modality of how people consume content. People want things short, especially young people. They don't want to put a whole lot of time in salute to Tiffany.
Hey, Tiffany.
They don't want to put a lot of time and listen to something, consuming something.
Yeah, they want to look at pictures. They want to scroll, right? Like, you know, but
on to the next one. But a lot of things, you know, you can't properly talk about some things in 90 seconds.
Yeah.
Or 2 minutes. It's to the point now to where anything on Facebook and Instagram that's over 10 minutes, it's almost impossible.
Yeah.
Like the download time doubles when it's over 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need that time.
Yeah. And then people will look at how long something is and be like, because we'll look at like how long people will watch, and we're like, this was good stuff, but ain't nobody watching it because it's on the wrong platform. So here we are. We're going to be talking about current topics, because it's a lot of stuff going on in the world that can't just be talked about in the vantage point of relationships. There's a lot of things that are happening that y'all need to be aware of and pay attention to. So,
like what? Not a topic that we've discussed, but like, give them an example of something that's going on in the world. I know you're a bit off. I'm catching you off guard. But what's something that you wish that's in the media that you would like to discuss, or you think would be something that we would?
I think certain things like, well, we did talk about this. Can I say what we talked about before? It was, we went to the Usher concert. Okay.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of controversy, like, oh, should a pastor and first lady go to the Usher concert?
That's good.
So we talked about that. There was another time where somebody made a comment about some stuff that I wear. Like as a first lady, I shouldn't wear certain things, or too revealing, too tight. That would be right. You know, so stuff like that is what we're gonna talk about.
Not like we're not trying to be, you know, because a lot of bloggers build their entire following off of tea. We're not trying to do that.
Yeah,
that's not the energy that we're trying to bring. It's enough of that. But there's a lot of things that have been spilled as tea that is worthy of a conversation. I will say that.
Absolutely.
We ain't trying to break no stories now.
Yeah. But I think that there are popular things and popular people that we have an opinion on that we feel confident and comfortable sharing, and that nobody else is going to share.
People need stances.
They do.
People, I think leaders are required to speak on certain things. I think people need to know, because leaders, especially if you're a trusted leader, they're, you know, people need help processing things.
Yeah, like a
Not
responsibility.
saying tell me what to think, but what are your opinions, and
Yeah.
challenge me on how I should morally look upon this.
Absolutely.
I mean, we've had people like that. If it's your pastor, your doctor, your teacher,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and now, you know, our leaders, like, what do you feel about this? You dig what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Shout out to Tiffany, didn't it? She says, "Hey, it's good to see y'all. You both have helped me throughout my healing within the last 3 years. So thank you. Thank you. Thank
Salute,
you.
Tiffany.
Salute, Tiffany." All right, so we're going to talk about current topics. We're going to talk about relationship conversations.
Yep.
And then we're going to give you a little peek into our life. You know, you guys have asked a lot of personal questions, as you should, because anybody who's putting themselves before you that you can't ask no question to, run.
What's the point?
Yeah, what's the point? So you guys have asked us questions, and we want to address those as appropriately throughout our time here on YouTube. Is that how I look?
Yeah. What do you think? Well, like, what's the hardest part of the content creation part for you?
The editing.
Yeah, the editing is difficult
because I can film all day. You know, like, where do I press play? Right? Like, I love talking. I love say something.
The camera, she love it. Lights.
This is my jam. Okay, I am not ashamed to say that. But the editing, the thumbnails, the cuts, because you got to hold people's attention. You know, you got to have jump cuts, and you got to have short versions of the long to get people to watch one and go to the other one. You know, that part can get it's very time consuming. Yeah, that part can get laborious. What about for you?
I think the most difficult thing for me is like that's a really good question.
I know it
is. So for me, it's being certain that when I'm speaking or when I'm doing something, I'm not mitigating the position that God has me in.
Very true.
And there are a lot of times in my youth, since we've been married, that I've done things or said things that I wouldn't now. I'm not really ashamed of it because it's a part of my story. It's part of my maturing. But I guess what I'm saying is the older I become, the more I take seriously the position that God has me in. And I always want to be certain to be relatable, but I don't want to lean too close to the world that looks like everybody else.
Right.
I mean, as a preacher, I don't need to look like everybody else.
Right.
Neither do you.
Right.
We shouldn't be out here like Diddy and, Ye. We shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
It has to be a dichotomy. And I think that people have certain expectations of that from what you present, your content, your presentation. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. And not only do I think that you are 100% correct, but I think it's very difficult. And I think we're finding our way still of finding a balance between relatability and standing firm on God's word. And I think that it's a very intricate yet needed position because we have more people that are outside of the church that come to the church versus vice versa, which is amazing, which is the whole reason, which is a whole benefit. So
yeah.
What y'all talking about?
A
Sabrina,
lot of them thought we were going live on Instagram or Facebook. So y'all made it here.
Y'all made it. I'm glad you guys are here.
Yeah.
Y'all didn't miss too much. Y'all didn't miss too much. Hey, y'all. Okay, so now what you guys are just in time.
I got something else.
Oh, go ahead.
What else you got?
Don't.
So inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah, what?
What's the most difficult part of being married to me? That's a good question.
That's a good question. Okay. We gonna talk about it.
Let me get mine.
I know, right?
Let me get my stick. As I can whoop you.
Oh gosh. Okay, so the hardest part of being married to you is feeling like I disappoint you.
What?
Yeah. Because I have so much respect for you. and I love you so much, and I like you so much that don't do that.
Okay? We leaning in.
Don't lean in now.
We lie. We got community.
We got community.
Go on.
All right. That when you are not pleased, I like being married. Like, I really just want for you to be pleased, because I feel like you work so hard for our family. I feel like that we have come, this year is 20 years.
20 years.
20 years that we've been together.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I know you very well. So anyway, so to answer your question, I think that's the hardest part. Like, the hardest part of being with you is the hardest part of being married to you. It's the same thing. Like, you make being married to you easy, but we're not the same person. So we do differ on some things, some more significant than others.
Yeah.
But I think that navigating, keeping my individuality and all of the roles that I play, and then combining that with being your helpmeet, sometimes I feel like I disappoint you, and that's very difficult for me.
Wow.
So.
Got you on the spot, baby.
Yeah. What about you?
The hardest part being man?
Yeah. Is there a hard part?
No, you're there's nothing about you that has made being married to you difficult for me. You can be a pistol, but I think I need that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the difficulty for me is more so of the intrinsic expectations of a man.
Okay, do tell.
To a woman, not necessarily Lynette.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As a man, I know that I've been called to protect you, to provide for you, and to lead you. Okay? And that is a lot of responsibility. You got to be on your game if you are going to be the man of the Bible.
Mm.
Feel what I'm saying?
Feel what you're saying. Okay.
Okay. So being certain that I'm always able to do that. Being certain that I'm always able to not bring shame on you, our family, that I'm always making the right decisions, that I'm spending my time working hard to where, you can have the type of life that I want you to have, that we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
The pressure of being a man. You see, women, please let me finish this.
Okay.
I don't believe that women were made to be under the same type of pressure as a man.
Okay.
Doesn't mean a woman can't take pressure. But I think there's something about difficulty that masculates you.
Mm-hmm.
If a man is under pressure, under hardships, he's going to become more of a man to get it done. I think those are the things that the man of the Bible was supposed to protect from the woman of the Bible.
Mm.
And a lot of people disagree with that. But I guess what I'm saying is being under the pressure allows you to be the woman that you're supposed to be in whatever it is you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a difficult task to ensure that I'm. So.
Wow.
Yeah. That's what I think.
Okay, babe. What y'all talking about? So Shanae, her and her husband have been together 20 years as well.
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
Salute.
And they're celebrating 6 years of marriage in August. So that's awesome. Tiffany says, yes, women adapt to emotions. So I can agree with you, Miss Lynette. I went through that in my committed relationships. Absolutely.
What does that mean when a woman adapts to emotions? What's that mean?
When she says adapts. Wait, who said that?
This young lady, right?
Oh, Shanae. She said, no,
right
I lost
Tiffany.
it. Oh, Tiffany says, women adapt to emotion. So emotionally, like if I am not providing the energy, the task, the decision, or whatever it is that I am involved with you in, if you are disappointed, that
Okay.
the reaction or the realization that I've disappointed you, like that makes me sad, that makes me depressed, that makes me, it's
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So
I
the
get
emotion.
it now. I didn't understand.
Yeah.
I'm clear.
Hey Katina. So Katina says leaders should have social responsibility. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But so many leaders now are not, they're using their platform in a way to become popular and to do whatever they do, but it's not necessarily in line with what we trying to do. So Creole says it will be 47 years for my husband and I in June. Wow. He is now diagnosed with cancer. Oh, we pray for you and for your husband. That's very difficult.
Yeah.
Katina says, y'all are my favorite couple. I have shared you with many of my single and married friends. And you know what? That's another thing too. Like I love that we can talk to the singles and we can talk to the couples and the marrieds.
Yeah.
Because people who are single most oftentimes are either getting out of a relationship, about to enter to a new one. Couples may want to take that next level. And then married couples need, that.
It's about a mindset.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
You want to give them the most frequently asked question that you feel that people have asked us as it relates to you and I?
Go ahead. Oh, yeah. One of the biggest FAQs is, why did we date so long?
Mm-hmm.
I think we're asked that more than anything.
Yeah.
We dated for 12 years
mm-hmm.
before we got married. Hence, we've been together 7, almost 8, which is the reason why next year is 20.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So people say, why?
Huh?
They say,
well, yeah. Well, for me,
why?
I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for a lot of reasons. I wasn't where I wanted to be financially. I wasn't where I wanted to be emotionally. I know that I was not ready for that before that time. I know that. And it was the best decision I made, because like by the time we got married, I was able to do the things that I need to do. I was financially stable. We were ready for children.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just in a good place in my life to where I was, men go through different stages. When a man is in his 20s and, he doesn't know up from down sometimes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. and a lot of women don't understand this. Women are a lot more mature as it relates to women mature emotionally a lot sooner than men. You guys are wired to be mothers. Not to say that everybody is a mother, but I'm saying, like, you can't be like, we're out here just wild men.
Yeah.
I just wasn't ready. I know I wasn't. So I said, and plus,
what else you got to say?
I got something else to say. You give up a lot as a man when you get married in this society.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get your status doesn't bump up as a man when you get married. It doesn't. All right. You got a lot of expectations. And no matter how progressive we are in a society, women still expect men to be traditional. I think more so than women being expected to be traditional.
Mm-hmm.
I think there is a dichotomy.
Yeah, agreed.
So it's a lot, man. You got financial responsibilities, you got social responsibilities. And I'm not saying women don't have to do those things, but what I'm saying is, like, it wasn't an even swap.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was in a position where, I was already pastoring. So I'm like, dang, how do I do it? Like, it was
a lot.
It was a lot. I made the perfect decision.
Totally.
Mm-hmm. So inquiring minds now know.
And you know what, to be honest, like, I was completely okay with dating for such a long time because I met him when I was 24. So
you were a spring chicken.
Say something. Now I'm a what?
You an autumn ostrich.
Not an ostrich. Anyway,
go on.
I told him innumerable times, I'm like, as long as our relationship is progressing, I'm fine. because I felt like I was learning more about him. I was learning more about myself. I had just graduated from, well, I was in grad school. Almost done with grad school. I didn't know what career I wanted to go. So I was in a transitional period as well. And then the only thing that I had in my head was I wanted to be married by the time I was 30 because my mom was married. My mom and dad were married and had me by the time she was 30. So that was the only thing in my head. And I felt like our relationship was different. And I felt like I had to let go of that idea. And the ideal that happened for my parents wasn't the ideal for me and for him because we're different people. And I think society will make you think like, oh, you're 30 and you don't have kids and you're not married, that something's wrong with you. And, I didn't have my first kid until I was 35. I was 36. I was 36, right? So anyway.
It all worked out.
And it all worked out. It all worked out. So there you go. Renee. Hey, Renee. I love the energy you two share. Thank you, Renee. Salute to you. Okay. So if I had to answer a question that I get the most is, what is it like to date and to be married to a pastor?
Ooh, that's a good one.
And I always say this, and because it's true. Mm-hmm. And when you tell the truth, you don't have to remember what you say, right? The truth. I always say this. I always first say that if someone would have told me when I was younger that I would marry a pastor, I would think they were crazy because that wasn't in the cards in my mind. But when you fall in love with your person and you know that their person, his occupation, respectfully, didn't have anything to do with my desire or non-desire to be with him. And I thought it was so dang on attractive to have a man that was so unapologetically sold out for Jesus that I was so attracted to that. And it wasn't something that I was like, whoa, oh.
And see, you got you the best pickings. You a Southern preacher.
Yeah, a Southern boy. A Southern boy that born and raised. Seventh preacher in his family, fourth generation. So you
you know all the history.
Deep rooted, babe.
Deep rooted. That's all we know.
I know.
We don't know nothing else.
I know. So anyway, so what is it like? It's like any other relationship. It's beautiful. It can be challenging and difficult. We didn't date in secret. We dated privately, and there's a difference. Yeah. We traveled together. We did everything that a public couple would do aside from go official on Facebook. We didn't do that until the day after.
Sabrina says, yes, it was a church singles night. You remember Sabrina?
Sabrina remembers.
Yes, it was. I met her at church.
Yeah. Met at church on a Friday night.
At a singles event.
It was the day before my hair appointment.
She had fuzzy braids.
I had fuzzy cornrows.
She was eating a hot dog. But you know what? It was so great to have met you in that environment. I don't have anything against people meeting on online because I know that's like
the thing, yeah.
But it just was so organic. Not to say that can't be.
And I was trying to meet him, y'all. I tell this story too, and don't cut me off. I was trying to meet him, so I joined the church, not knowing who he was. I mean, I didn't know who he was when I came to the church, but heard him sing, heard him preach, and I was like, "Oh my God, I love him." Who was that? My friend was like, "That's the pastor. Get a grip. You're not gonna meet him." So fast forward to
here we are 20 years.
I know, here we are, right? So I was trying to meet him. I would go to Bible study and get all dressed up and volunteer and raise my hand. He never called on me.
I never remembered her. Even if she says we met before, but I'm like, I would have remembered.
No, we met, and I joined church the Sunday that he preached.
The Lord must have blinded my eyes on that.
And you even commented, you were like, "Look at this, y'all, young people coming down the aisle." And I was like, "Oh, he sees me. He didn't see me."
Well, the Lord let me see it when I was supposed to see it.
So it was perfect. So
The Lord let me see it.
Yeah. Sabrina, thank you for loving our story. I love our story too. I'll tell us anybody who will listen.
Yeah.
So
everybody.
It's a great story. I love, when we say that we're a couple that just love, like we really do. We love stories. We love talking about love and all of its, idiosyncrasies and stuff like that. So whatever.
I love, what I love most about what we do?
What do you love most?
I love the fact that we are champions for marriage, relationships, and traditional values, because it's so needed.
Yeah.
Everything is so
whatever you want to do.
Perverted.
Yeah. However you want to do it.
It'd be, you pick.
Yeah. It's very true.
I just think, that when you have a book like the Word of God that has principles that all of us seek agreement on, and we just hold our standards to that, it just makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're getting to the point now to where when you live in a society that tells you you can pick who you want to be, and you can be this, and how do you raise your children in a society? How do you prepare your daughter to be a woman in a society that tells a girl that what you were genetically hardwired to be is optional? How do you train a boy? How do parents prepare our kids in a society that is so confused and lost? So when Lynette and I are up here advocating for marriage, advocating for you all who are single to tell you not to give up on marriage, when we're doing that, like it's almost like a requirement of this platform.
Absolutely. It's an assignment that we take very seriously.
It is. So, and the best part about it is not to be sitting up here with you being fake.
Yeah, for sure.
But you can't fake
this.
You can't.
And I think, I think somebody said this earlier, and we get this. Tiffany, we see your question. We'll answer that in 2 seconds. I think what people like about us, not in people's heads, but the comment that we get the most is that people really enjoy watching our interaction. And they enjoy watching our interaction because we're not fake with each other. We're very honest, and we are true to who we are. Like, I am loud and, dramatic and
so Chicago.
Shout out to Chicago. So anyway, and he is not, but I don't try to like dim my light because he's not like that. Or I ain't crazy, but I'm also me. And I think that people like to see you be you and me be me, and us together. I think so.
Let's answer Tiffany's question.
What is Tiffany? You want to put it up? Questions. If y'all got questions, put them in the comments.
What is y'all's advice on single ladies in their 30s and 40s who want marriage? To not give up on that, to embrace it, to hold firm to what it is that you want, but also holding firm and being clear on what is required from you to be of value to what you say you want. We can't just sit back and want all the value and don't want to be the value. So I would say to Tiffany, regardless of your age, I think it's great that you want to be married, because we live in a society that makes you think that as you get to a certain age, especially as a woman, that your options are limited. Let me tell you something. Options are numbers, and numbers are things that have nothing to do with what your purpose and destiny is. If God has somebody for you, it doesn't matter what your age is. It doesn't matter what the odds are. It doesn't matter what everybody else has gone through. So I would say embrace it, stand firm, but know what it takes to appeal to the type of man or woman that you say you want.
Absolutely. I think if I had to answer that, it would be to only add to what you said, which I think is phenomenal. I think to not be distracted by Mr. Right now versus Mr. Right, because I think our society kind of conditions us to, Valentine's Day and your birthday and the holidays, and like you want to be booed up and, all these other things. And you see, social media's highlight reel of somebody's real life, and you think that that's how it all is. And, in your 30s and 40s, you want that. I mean, it's nothing wrong with wanting that, but you'll end up spending your time and convoluting and distorting your true vision with people that don't deserve you. And then while you're trying to figure that out, who God has for you is over here, but you're too busy trying to, mess around over here. So if I only had one other thing to add, would be just to, you can do bad by yourself, right? Like just,
ain't that the truth?
Hold firm and stay focused on what you really want, and don't dim your light. Don't downgrade for anybody. All right. Oh, Sabrina has one. I'm gonna click on it. Great question. Sabrina says, advice on a very social wife that wants 1 to 2 times a month, but the workaholic husband doesn't make time. I'm just gonna fill in the blank of wants.
I'm staying clear. I don't know. I'm sorry,
Sabrina.
I don't know.
Is the word cookie? Is that appropriate for YouTube guidelines? Yeah. Just say yes or no. Cookie? Oreos?
Go on.
Oh yeah, Shanae says she has that same question. Oh, go out.
Go out.
Okay.
Look at you.
See, look,
you heathen. I think one of the things, excuse me, that we've done well is Lynette and I have date night every once a week. Mm-hmm. If we can, twice. If we could, every night.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things that we always did from the day we got married. Every single week that we have been married, we've had a date night every single week. I think it's something that we started right. As couples, there are a lot of things you do right, a lot of things you do wrong. This is one of the things that was done right because it became a part of who we were. We've even had a lot of you guys say, hey, we started having date night because you guys, which is great. And it really does change the ebb and flow of your intimacy and how you connect with your spouse. It's almost like when you go on vacation, how like if you're going through life and you may, have hard times or whatnot, then you go on vacation with your wife or with your spouse and you come back and it's like you all have reconnected. Mm-hmm. Dating weekly does that. Mm-hmm. I would say to Sabrina that her husband needs to hear your concern. And I think maybe you should maybe say, hey, what do you think about us trying, a weekly date? Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what I think. I think every couple should do that.
Yeah. And then if it's,
I wish we could go somewhere tonight.
I know.
Be drinking water.
I know. I think if I had anything to add to that would be compromise. Like one of the things that we sometimes forget in relationships is like we're so focused on like what we want that we're not necessarily so focused or aware of how strongly the other person feels about what they want. And it can be the total opposite of what you want. So compromise, right? Yeah. Like if you want to go out 1 to 2 times a month and that's not, gelling well with your workaholic husband, say, hey, listen, I know that, once every other week, you're super busy, but what can we do? Maybe it's not go out. Maybe it's a staycation in the house. Maybe, there's something from where you are to where he is for you all to meet in the middle to make both of you happy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then you can just grow from there.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that because it's needed. And for the men out there, it's good that we stay ahead of the women in the sense, like one of the things I always try to do is like, I always try to know what she wants to where I can be certain that I'm behind that and not in front of, because a man never wants to be behind a woman who, they want to go out and then because you never want to do that, because women, that's a storm you don't want to be in. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I live my life trying my best to know that, are you good? Is everything okay? And it's important, man, because going out is great.
It is.
And everybody can do it on their level.
Yeah.
We like to dress up, and that's just something we like to do.
Mm-hmm.
And we've done that since we were married.
Every week. If
week.
we're in town, we're going out.
Even when we were dating, and y'all know how it is. We've got kids. It's harder when children come.
Mm-hmm.
But every single week, and if there's a week that we can't get help or a sitter for the kids, and we just take them with us.
Mm-hmm. But we'll still try to find time with just us, right? Maybe it's a day date while they're in school. Now that they're a little older, they're in school. So instead of a dinner date, maybe we could do like a lunch or a breakfast or something like that. But
and then you start getting to the point where you look forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like on Friday, like the big thing in our house is like, where are we going on Monday?
Yeah, yeah. And so much so that our kids are like, are you and Dad going on a date today? So they see that.
They see it.
And
that's important.
Yeah. For sure.
Because kids are, even when they're being impacted and they aren't aware of it,
Mm-hmm.
They'll be able to say, hey, I remember that.
I remember my mommy and dad going on dates and getting dressed up and,
That's a part of, that should be a part of normalcy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is what,
Absolutely.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to date your spouse.
No, I love dating you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I do too. I can get you in as late as I want now.
I know, right? No more late night, Lady Lynette. Oh, all right. All right. That's all we got, guys.
Well, thank y'all.
We're so happy
for joining us.
That you guys joined us.
Subscribe. If you're on,
You in this hat.
You told me to wear it.
I know, and I love you for
y'all
wearing
can follow us on Instagram at MrMrsJLW.
Yes, MrMrsJLW, if you don't already. Well, Facebook. A lot of them were on Instagram. So Facebook is MrMrsJLW. And then, subscribe and share the page, because our community, again, we're going to be here regardless, but because we never care about likes or subscribers or anything like that. But with YouTube is a little different, because there's certain things that we can't do before we get to a certain point.
YouTube be out by yourself. Nobody know the trouble I see. Nobody knows on YouTube.
But anyway, y'all, so hopefully we're excited about bringing you long form content, and we appreciate you, and we will see you next time.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.